Hey, Gary. Why music sound like it's some Batman and Robin stuff?
Because we Batman and Robin.
Welcome to Flag on the Play. My name is Drew, and I got my co-host with me, Gary Peacock, and we also got Matt Santini, owner of Common, in the building, and he's going to be updating you guys on standings and all that stuff, but we're going to do that later on in the show. But you know, Gary, before we jump into this, we got to pay those bills.
Got to pay the bills, man. Let's go.
Oh, yes. Once again, we want to shout out our sponsor, Lucy's, because I'm telling you, garlic, parm, recommend, or the chicken sandwich, like my brother Eric Arnold from Arnold Meat Process. Listen, he will go get that chicken sandwich, and he says it's going to burn his tongue. He was like life when he stole that pie. So
chicken and waffles, man. It's chicken and waffles for me. You know, I got
to go get that garlic parm. So, but, you know, Flag Football Gateway 239, very interesting weekend. You know, it was, let's say, put it like this right here. The middle game was the best game because the first game was an okay game, but we kind of figured out who was going to win. But the last game was, but you feel what I'm saying? We found a way to get content. So without further ado, Gary, and shout out to you for being behind the scenes with the footage on these. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the first game, Free Smoke versus I don't know if they need to call this.
You doing Free Smoke first?
Yeah, we got to, bro. Did you see the scope? We'll talk about it. Go ahead and drop that.
Because of the first time, exactly. Oh, that's catch. That's a catch. That's a catch.
Go get slow ass. Go get it slow ass. Yes, sir. Oh, fuck out of here.
Wow.
I'm in. My hell outside, Jay.
Dizzle. Complete.
Like this. I saw the worst
flag football game
I ever seen. The sound like a garbage truck dropped off the Empire State Building. And when they finally pulled
the players' bodies
from the twisted, burning wreck, it looked like this.
So as you can tell,
finish him.
Matt, get off the phone. You live right now. You see what I'm saying? Matt on the street live.
Hey, hold up. So the score is 42-0. So they didn't score no points. I said last week that if Dizzle was a part of that game against Expendables, that they would have won. Well, Dizzle was there this time, and it didn't make a difference.
Bro, listen, right now, everybody tuned in. Y'all do us a favor because we finna hang out tonight, man. So y'all like and share the show. Make sure y'all drop that comment because right now, what I just seen right here, that was totally amazing because they didn't even pinch.
Hey. The little short quarterback for Free Smoke. I don't know his name, but he came in with attitude. He had a little man complex.
After he got skied out of. So let me tell you what it was. You know, he got that Napoleon complex. He got that little syndrome, and he would kick that the other part. You feel him, so they couldn't play with the other dogs. So he came over with a chip on his shoulder.
Bro, he had a whole attitude. That's why he played like that.
And he lit they behind up, man.
Lit them up. They couldn't even score. That's crazy. All right, hey, let's go, man. So that's enough for killing those guys, man. They'll get it together though.
Yeah. So now we're gonna jump into this mafioso versus the Expendables.
TD. Don't get better than that. TD. TD Kiki.
I like you, but you're crazy.
Boy, we got Butterfingers on this team, boy.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Split back quarterbacks.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Big shout out to our behind the scenes production guy, man. He is always keeping us on our feet.
Hey,
the graphics, man.
They literally drowned off that touchdown. He mossed. Who was that in the corner? I forgot who that was. Was that Kendall?
Look at him. He's looking a little sour right now because y'all know
Matt, was that Kendall?
And y'all went down like Frazier. So Matt, let's talk about it. What happened?
I said, leave my free agent team alone. First of all, Smookum had his hand on that ball, and he just should have ripped it out. I don't know what he was doing with that dang interception. I mean, he literally should have knocked that out. That was a great catch by that kid, whoever mossed him on that play. We didn't have enough, man. We didn't have enough people.
Oh, Lord. You didn't see that last week.
Players sitting on the sideline with you. Man, cut it out, man.
Come on.
Hey, that game was close until the end.
Mafioso, man, doing their thing, man.
Mafioso.
It was very, very huge.
I want to say this too, though. With Mafioso, they told me to point out that when they don't give the ball to Lou, they do better on offense. I'm just saying.
Another thing too is Jonah said personally, while he was at Accident Experts, make sure we keep the camera on him. Make sure.
You said that.
And how in the world did he predict the future? Because this dude literally lit it up.
Smart man.
Like that. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this next game, which was the most controversial game of the weekend and probably be of the league because it was a bad play. But we'll talk about that a little later as we bring Norm on. But if you tune in right now, make sure you like, share the show. But we're going to jump into this commercial real quick, Comlink commercial. Then we're going to jump into 239 verse.
Let's do it. Hey, I want to say too, Comlink Internet, get you some. I know it's a lot of y'all out there around this area that can't get Comcast, can't get CenturyLink. Those are the only two companies around here. Y'all done messed it up with them. So come get some Comlink Internet and get your internet on, man.
Yeah, and you make sure you use that promo code Big Dreams so we get it in there. Thanks for that sales call. You pitch Get him right. So let's go ahead and jump into this highlight, and then we're gonna talk about it a little bit. And y'all make sure y'all drop them comments after y'all see this controversial topic.
Let's go.
Fourth down.
You is blind.
I'm not blind, you blind.
That is what I just said.
You just said what?
I did not say what. I said you.
That's what I'm asking you.
Skeet it on him.
Nice.
I just said it, Gary. Get back in.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Conflict of interest. Rush's dad is the referee that called the play. I don't know.
So, all right.
Hey, so
First of all, let me say this. Dash is fast as hell. That boy can run.
let me say this. We as men need to stop blaming our performance on the ref. I'm just being straight up and honest.
Got to, because you heard
Calls
that
are
at the end
going
just
to be
then.
made that will not go your way. I've been playing this game a long time. And I guarantee you every game I'm going to get a bad call.
All the time.
Game I'm going to get a bad call. But
now, once they start piling up, you got a reason to complain. But you're talking about one play, right?
Yeah, this is what I'm telling you. Y'all sit up here, monster, because I'm bringing it to the forefront. Y'all sitting up here. That was a third down play that stopped y'all from doing what y'all needed to do. But on fourth down, the same thing that happened to y'all week in, week out, every tournament, every time y'all play a big game, y'all quarterback gets stopped on fourth down. I was standing in the end zone next to Gaming with the camera wide open. Y'all had a bad call, but y'all want to cry about the bad call, but y'all don't want to cry about the bad performance on the play next to that, because I was standing right next to Gaming. The person that ran in front of the person that caused that call. But y'all want to argue about all this. It ain't no one call that make no game. Y'all were winning the whole game.
Once they scored 12 points, they went down 12-0. 239 Biz started arguing with each other a little bit. Right when that happened, Monster just came, with a flurry of shots and came back. They really should have won that game. Despite that third down call, whatever it was the right call. All day, every day. I don't like to hear people say, hey, because the other guy's dad was a ref, that somehow he cheats for them. AD.
Hey, well, you know what, then, Gary? I don't mean to cut you off, Gary. I don't mean to cut you off. Tell y'all daddy to come out there and ref. Now go ahead, Gary.
Y'all, we just got to stop, man. The call was right. We threw the rules out there. You can, if you line up next to the center, whether you are touching feet or not, you do not release. They always tell you, if you're a center, to always wait till the rusher passes you. And the reason why is because if your quarterback takes off one way, the rusher has a chance to go get him. He doesn't have to still run all the way around, because other than that, that would be a play every play. Okay, let him run around that way and the quarterback take off the other way. Like that's stupid. You got to use your logic here. You know what I mean? So what we need to do is we need to bring on Norm. We need to show that play again and talk about what happened.
Yeah, let me just before we do that, like that also wasn't the final drive of the game. They had another drive on offense.
But
I don't know. I know that was a third down play.
It wasn't.
Listen, man,
I
know it wasn't. I got the film on it. I know
they had another drive that they got stopped in the red zone after that, so they still had a chance to win the game, but they let that
take their heart and their soul
get into their head, and and honestly, the 2-3-9, I know because I coach them. They were mentally checked out of that game.
They had them checked out. Seriously,
they could have easily beaten them, but they. And interestingly enough, and we'll get into this later, but we could see a rematch of that game this weekend.
Oh yeah, but
we'll talk about that
before
later.
we get Norm on and get into that controversial call. Let's talk about those players of the week. Yes, sir. So we're gonna jump off with the defensive player of the week. This guy's really a midget. You feel what I'm saying? Needs to grow up a little bit, but
just a little bit.
I don't think he did a bad job this weekend. What you think, Gary?
No, he did good. Like I said, he came in the week with attitude because he got kicked out of the Cape League. So he came in with attitude, man, and he would not be denied on defense. He had a bunch of knockdowns, great plays on defense, so definitely deserving of the defensive player of the week. And he scored. I think he was the only one that scored this week, right?
On defense, yes.
Yeah, only defensive touchdown. Yep.
So now, offensive player of the week. This guy sat up here. He when he was behind the accident experts, because the players of the week are brought to you by accident experts. So what other better way to have an employee that works at your office to be the player of the week? And I'm not saying that we're giving it to him because he sponsored it. Look at those stats.
Look at those stats, man. They game 1, 3 touchdowns. Game 2, 4 touchdowns. He did it. He looked smooth. And remind y'all, Jonah is a quarterback. He is a new quarterback, but he decided to take on that onus of being a head honcho, and he's making it look good.
Numbers don't lie, men don't lie. Yes, sir. Whatever they say about all that, because my dog got the numbers on that. You feel me?
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. He got numbers.
So we do have the statistics of the leaders from this last weekend. So we're gonna drop them up in there. Where we got man from behind the camera. So we got defensive TD leaders week 2.
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
Man, free smoke. Y'all don't nobody want to see free smoke. I see. That's what's going on here. Ooh, them boys hot.
God, Mr. Pike. We got
and that's Fort Myers free smoke. That's not Tampa free smoke.
The 239, not the 813. Yeah. And you see yourself on there. If you don't, we'll make sure we post it.
That's the defensive interception leaders right there, and it's pretty much a log jam. The guys that are leading that category actually got those 2 picks the week before.
Yeah, because D Cobb didn't play this week, and he's leading, with 2 picks. So,
oh, that's who y'all was missing, D Cobb.
Yeah,
y'all was down like crazy. Okay.
When I said we were missing someone, I wasn't kidding.
All right, we got Jonah leading with 9 touchdowns. You know what I mean? I think he got a game up on a couple of these teams out here, but 9 touchdowns, there's nothing to balk at. That's pretty good. And next we got Monsters quarterback Darryl Gary, followed by David Campbell with 5. So yeah, these guys are doing pretty good.
And listen, Jesse wasn't there the first week, but don't sleep on him. He's going to be up in that category. I promise you.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. I might come out of retirement and I beat some of these numbers. These some starting quarterbacks that ain't got no good numbers up in there. What's that?
You see it? I think Dizzle got a touchdown pass. Do we have Dizzle?
Y'all let the fat Peyton Manning get a touchdown before y'all. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourself.
Receiving rushing touchdown leader. That's
kind
of
there's
small.
3 people leading. You've got Kiki, Jeremiah, and Sean Gary are the 3. Yeah.
Most deaf, and I'm not surprised, you know what I'm saying, with these young guys that's leading the rankings.
Hey, go back to that really quick. If you notice you don't have your last name, it's because you didn't check in. So Luckily, we
Oh,
didn't
you
first name.
non-checking in people.
If you don't check in, you're gonna have one name, and we don't even know if it's
It don't matter. We can't see you anyway. So, but
you're not important anymore.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know on Facebook if you in there like swim well.
Go to the next category, Greg. The next leader. This is the one. There he is, Zach, leading the pack.
Boy, that boy on somebody. You
And,
know what? I ain't gonna say.
that's 3 sacks, let me tell you about Zach is making his state tourney debut with the 239 this weekend. I'm excited for him. So we're bringing him out there as an extra body to help us. Since our real main rusher decides he's too sweet for us half the time, so we gotta.
Well, we're gonna leave that on the wraps because we think we're gonna get that thing situated and mended up because you guys were we don't know what happened, but we're gonna leave that in the past.
Oh, I know what happened.
I know what happened too, but we don't know what happened. So it's just like when the police come around, we don't know what happened. Sorry, Norm. We love you, but it is what it is. Walt had 3 sacks. So Rico is tuned in right now and said Walt got 3 sacks.
So Walt had 3 sacks. So what a sack leader list at, man? Why Walt ain't on there?
Why he ain't on there? Buddha.
Who gave the stats for Walt's game?
Hey, listen, D Cruz, just be easy, baby. I promise you, be easy.
I don't see Waltzilla on there. What Waltzilla at? I know Waltzilla had a sack the first week.
Oh,
he ain't on the stat list. So you got.
Hey, Gary, let's talk about Cruz.
Wow.
He all right. Take him off there. We ain't worried about that. Cruz, be easy, my G. Keep working them. I seen you work, Maul. I seen you work, German. I seen you had them all.
And let me correct Cruz.
Keep working them.
Let me correct Cruz. It wasn't Dixon messing up your stats. It was Rashawn running into the rusher.
That's who messed up and made me mad because I call you top 5. You know what I mean? I'm putting the case out for you. I'm talking about all the disrespect. They better stop disrespecting.
And I agree 100%. It had no effect on the play, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a penalty.
And you know what I'm saying? And this is the thing: be a grown man and blame the damn person that messed up your stat. Right. Gaming your own teammate.
Hey, ain't gaming on the this is why he tops on defense. He messed it up on offense, didn't it?
Got him. So we in the last one. So, we're gonna go ahead and push on down the road, man. Y'all see the scores and the highlights. The Reapers say they'll be back in full effect when we get back from this week in OCALA.
We count all 21 of them for forfeit points.
Hold on, you get 21 points for a forfeit?
I said that 2 seasons ago because I'm tired of forfeits.
It's the experiment. They trying to get it how they can get.
We're gonna put a star next to y'all points at the end of the season.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into this fun-filled weekend that we got ahead of ourselves with.
Right.
OCALA.
Tournament time, baby.
Yes. So,
Norm still in the backstage because he's calling me right now.
Yeah, call him. I don't know if he's in the backstage.
Get him off the couch, man. He's right on the couch.
Right now.
Yeah, Norm. Like, we got to do this again? We on Norm.
Bring him on.
What'd he say?
He said he's on, I guess, so bring him on.
Where he at? Norm ain't on. Norm in the wrong room. Tell Norm.
No, you got to get in the players' room, boy.
Yeah, he in the wrong room. He over there with the tortoises. He ain't hanging with us.
Click back on the link and enter the show. We'll add you right on.
Do we need to send him a new invite?
All right, bye.
So basically what we're finna do, right? We're finna have Norm come on and speak a couple minutes about this call, right? So that way these guys know that I'm not lying to them. Like, I know most of the rules, and everybody know I know most of these rules. But we definitely want to have Norm clear that up, and just talk about why this is a rule and why. We're on that other way. Go ahead, Norm.
Yeah, the rule was instituted because of the 5-yard rush. The rusher has to have a blanket approach to the quarterback. If you didn't, then you would be in the screen game at the 1-yard rush where you could inhibit his rush. Therefore, moving it back to 5 yards gives him, a complete and utter, access to the quarterback no matter which way he goes. Therefore, that's why the center, a lot of times you'll say, tell even though the rusher has to pick a side, the center still does not allow to delay if you've got a moving quarterback.
Right.
If the quarterback forgets to tell the center, hey, I'm rolling left, don't go that way, then you get the snap and the center moves off to the side thinking he's getting out of the way, and he's running right in front of the rusher. That's why these rules were put together this way, is to allow that the rusher can go anywhere the quarterback goes, no matter what happens.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. So when they're in a stack formation, whether they're touching feet, whether the receiver's touching feet with the center or not.
Stop.
So
there is nothing in the rule book that is toe-to-toe. Nothing. Okay. That is a myth that was brought on by somebody somewhere, I don't know. This is the rule. If your rusher is small and skinny and you leave a gap between the center and the guard, he can go between them.
Touching toes or not, right?
Does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's just like in the NFL when you see the guys doing the field goal, right? They interlock their feet just like this, all right? But then they spread their legs to try and take up as much room as possible. That's why you see guys shooting the gap, and jumping and trying to block the field goal. Same principle here.
So now, we're gonna sum this up because they call it the donkey of the day on 98.5. The Breakfast Club. We say you killing me, Smalls, when you think you know what you talking about. Right now, film don't lie. Freddie Aldrich, you a real jackass. Just let it go. I love you to death, brother. But I told you about wearing those long socks. If you'd have had on short socks, the call would have went your way. But
bro, been telling them that for the longest.
And you keep on wanting to do it your way.
Well, let me since it's our league, 239 my league. I just want to say one thing. The only thing that bothered me about this controversy was the fact that Freddie had the nerve to go on and question our integrity on social media. There is absolutely, I don't care who wins these games. I literally don't. I hate to break it to you. I know I have a team that I like, but I don't care who wins the games. I had no influence over matter of fact, if anything, and Gary will back me up on this, the referees that do know me that we have in these games actually overcompensate and usually call against us because they're so worried about making a call that's going to look biased. In this specific scenario,
no, don't listen, Matt.
This was a center screen because
don't sugarcoat it, Matt, real quick. They don't like your ass, so your ass don't get calls. Let's be honest.
Right. Well,
keep going.
That's fine too.
You said some whole other shit.
I don't care whatever the reason is. The point is it's not biased towards me as much as they want to think that. It's not, number one. Number two, when that specific scenario happened, Dixon saw it immediately. He walked to the middle of the field to clarify the rule with JK because he wasn't sure of the rule because it wasn't the center. It was one of the receivers who did the screen.
Right.
That's all he was clarifying.
Right.
As soon as JK clarified the rule with Dixon, they made the call. It was the right call. It's on video. Let it go. Move on with your lives. Trust me, I feel your pain. I've lost many games on controversial calls, but you got to just move on. And they're gonna beat 2-3 on one of these days. It's gonna happen. It's stuff like that happens.
Man, they need to let LIG.
They gotta play smart, So
LIG to move on. Figure out why y'all can't put the nail in the coffin. Like dead serious. Y'all keep on repeating this cycle, and it ain't the referee fault all the damn time.
Right.
Let's call a spade a spade. So
exactly.
We in OCALA this weekend, baby.
Yeah, I want to talk about ranking system for OCALA because that's important. That's another thing that's come up with a lot of people calling me and Norm questioning the current rankings. So, Greg, if you have the current rankings, if you could post those. Actually, if you could post the ranking system first. Sorry. Which is the red post. Yeah. So, Norm, go through this real quick and just explain this for everybody.
All right. As we all know now, we've gone back to the original bracket setup the first game. A division is still part of the group now. So your first game that the number one team plays in, all right, the first game that the number one team plays in other words, that line in the bracket is the start of the A bracket. It's anything to the left of that is a preliminary play-in game. All right, so the point where the number one team plays, those games start at 2.5 points. The game before that will be 0.75. All right, so you get 0.75 if you have a play-in game, then 2.5 points if you win your first A division game, and then on from there. If you lose and go down to B, you get 1.5 points for wins in the B division. And then if you lose and end up in the C division, it's 0.5 point, 0.5 for those wins. So, the Palm Base tournament was really great. We had 32 teams. So every game at the beginning meant 2.5 points. And a lot of people were like, well, they won their first game, but they lost their second. And, then they went down to B division. Well, they got 2.5 points for that first one. And then they went down to B and, garnered points there also. So You've got to remember what your first game is, what it's worth.
Right.
Yeah, Greg, pull up the rankings now. So what I'm going to just jump in real quick, Norman, go over some of this. So we're going to get down to the teams that finished in B but are higher than some of the teams that lost in A. So, for example, Apocalypse went 5-1 and won the B division and got 7.5 points. The reason that is because they played a ton of games. And they got extra point. You get an extra. Don't you get something for winning the B division too? I forget what.
No.
Oh no. Okay, so it's just. But you do get 1.5 points for every win in the B division, right?
Yes.
So then you have Mob. Same thing. They wound up finishing the B, but they had more games, right? They had 4 games that they or 6 games total, but 4 games that they won. Same thing with Disciples and Run It Back had an extra game after winning. And again, because that first game, everything was in the A bracket the first game because we had an even bracket of 32 teams. That's why a lot of these teams got more points than they usually potentially would have. Like, for example, this weekend, we have 4 teams that have a bye. So the whole first round before them is all playing games. So if you win, you're not going to get 2.5 points. So it makes it tougher to earn those points. And then you have a logjam at 9 with Anything, 239, Palm Beach Nights, and Palm Beach Flight, which they all finished in the A, I believe. Yeah, all of those teams finished in the final 8, but they only had 2 wins, I should say, and that's why their points were less. So the point we're making for everybody to understand is if for some reason you're a good team and you don't expect to lose in an A division game and you wind up in the B, hey, stick it out. Win the B. Apocalypse, look at that. They're ranked, 5th or tied for 3rd, I should say, just because they didn't quit. The B division games are a big deal as well. You can earn a lot of points because that bracket in the B is so big. There's so many games. Go ahead, Norm.
No, you explained it pretty good. I mean, I used to tell teams, don't leave the tournament just because you got dropped to B or C. You can make a lot of points, and that will make the difference in the final ranks when you try and qualify for the state finals. There's going to be times where there's going to be a team that if they just stuck it out at one tournament, probably would have gotten 2 more points, and that boosts them up into the B or the A division where they want to be, and then that's where it is.
It don't work out. So you got to stick around, fellas. And we're going to OCALA this weekend. It's supposed to be a little rainy, so make sure you bring some extra clothes. And
cold.
It's going to be cold. Yeah. So make sure you bring some extra clothes. It's simple. You feel what I'm saying? See
bring
how that
2
works?
suitcases, not one.
Yes, just bring some extra clothes and you good all the way around the board.
Sunday will be clear. Sunday's good. Saturday will be a little rainy.
Yeah, so one of the things we're trying to do, man, is to bring Florida flag football to you guys like it's never been brought to you guys before. So when we there, make sure you guys hit me and Gary up. Gary is not playing anymore. He'll be walking around with a camera. So
I got one question.
Yes, sir.
Even when he did have the uniform on, was he playing? I don't know. Some people, that was the question of the day.
So we
on my own show. On my own show.
Want to make sure.
Yeah.
We get the love out there, and come check us out up under the tent because you're gonna need some clothes, and you might forget your clothes. We'll have those hoodies for sale up under the tent.
Yeah.
You feel me? And we doing our thing. So this week, man, let's have some fun. And I don't who we thinking gonna bring it home this week.
All right. Well, before we get into that, we're gonna let Norm go because he doesn't want to be on when we're talking about.
Yeah.
Norm can't talk about brackets and teams and all that good stuff.
Man, damn them. Tell them to get out their damn feelings. They'll be all right. Peace.
Yeah, but listen, rosters. I want rosters filled out. We are not going to do what we did in Palm Bay.
Not at all.
If I catch a player on another team, that team is gone.
Norm, you have paper rosters at the field. I'm gonna post a roster link for online as well, and I'll print it before I go. And I will drop that in the Florida Flag Football social media page later today, or if not, first thing.
Rosters have to be in by the first game.
Yeah.
I want to see them at the table. So,
gotcha.
Peace out, brothers. Have a good night.
Later.
The big old dog is going to bed.
All right. Take it easy.
Old.
Hey, what you say, old ass? Old rusty balls. Hey. So right now, Matt, we have, the schedule. Do we got the schedule?
We have the bracket reveal. This is what everyone's waiting for. Yeah. And we gotta have a drum roll next time.
Yeah,
we gotta add that.
Bracket reveal.
Nope.
Damn. Oh no, sorry. Try again.
Sorry. One more time.
Yes. You killing me, Small.
The man behind the curtain.
So right now we're waiting on these brackets, trying to figure it out.
I can pull it up if he's having trouble.
We'll figure it out. So seeing who you gonna play, who gonna get it in, and then drop in the comments if you think we need to be filming your game. That's the only way we're gonna film your game.
Hey, and I do want to say that. I want to say that too, man. If y'all see us out there, you know what I mean? Just call us over. You want us to film your game? Mm-hmm. Let us know. We'll jump on that.
And make sure
y'all feel like you're gonna do something spectacular. Let us know. We want to interview you. We want to get footage of the game. We want
because my dog from Anything sat up and told me he was finna route this fool. He told me to put the camera on. I put the camera on. Roll. He was in one of our reels, just like that, easy breezy. If you're going to call him out, you're going to do what you do. Because the thing is, I had another homeboy that called another homeboy out. An hour later, his predictions went the same way. So, you got to be careful now. When the camera on, the camera don't lie. It's going to tell you what you really do. So, do we got the brackets yet?
Yeah, another comment. He didn't have it in his email and re-forwarded.
Okay. So, we're getting them up. We're getting them loaded, locked in there. And then also, I still need emails, man. So when I'm out there, I'll be having my pen and pad. If you haven't given me your email for the Flag Football magazine that will be dropping, please do so. And I like to talk, so y'all come holler at your boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Gary, what happened to your glasses, bro?
So what had happened, right?
Oh, you couldn't really see?
Nah, I don't need them for close up.
Oh, there we go. Bam.
Oh, we in business. Okay, there we go.
Bam. Can we zoom in? Cause there it is.
Yeah, Greg, start with the top left, and we'll work our way around. So, in the top of the bracket, we got Bear Down versus Smackas. The winner of that's going to get number 1 ranked Kings of Florida. We got Alpha Omega versus 6 Easy. Winner of that's going to get Palm Beach Flight are Incredibles. I think slow down, Greg. The Palm Beach Flight Palm Beach Flight Alpha Omega matchup is probably the most likely scenario. And that'll be a good game between Randy and Josh. Those two teams are very experienced, good teams. And so the winner of that will wind up, in all likelihood, getting Kings of Florida at the 420 game. This is important, I point this out. The loser of the 420 game in the A bracket is not done with the tournament. Even though that's their third game, they still have a game on Sunday. They will be in the B bracket, the loser. But they
get
still,
10 points.
They still get to play. So if you lose that 420 game and it's your third game, don't think you're going home. You're going to have a game on Sunday in the B bracket.
Okay.
No points.
All right. So keep going down, Greg. And then we've got Flawless.
We see Parlay.
Parlayed is back, baby.
Hey, that is
anybody who knows Parlay.
Joe, what up, Joe?
They're a top 5 state team. They've been doing it for a long time.
Don't sleep.
They're coming in unranked in this tournament because they haven't played yet this season. But we all know that's just smoke and mirrors. They're going to be very tough. So I don't know who Run It Back is. Did anybody get to see them last tournament? They obviously did good. They're in the top 4 of this tournament. But
yeah, they ran it back.
Yeah, they ran it back. So they're going to get Parlayed most likely. I assume Parlay could still beat them, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Run It Back's really good. Then you have Shockwave versus Heroes and Villains.
Is this a Shockwave combined, or Shockwave 1, or Shockwave 2?
No, they're both rated again. They didn't combine it up, so they're still, the Static Shock, I guess.
The 2.0 and okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have another fizzle.
So yeah, I think Heroes and Villains probably favored in that game. Then you have Disciples versus Venom, another one. I don't know if anyone remembers. Well, Venom's been around for years, but last year, Venom had a really good team. Like, they were a top 5 team the whole season. I don't know what happened in states.
That's kind of like Tampa versus St. Pete, the Bird versus the
So that's actually a really good matchup.
Now we're at 8-1-3.
My prediction is it's going to be Parlayed and Venom in that 420 game, but we'll see what happens.
We'll come back to this and find out if your prediction was good.
Yeah, that's how I feel like. So now we're going to Free Smoke Tampa, because Free Smoke
8-1-3.
Yeah, 8-1-3 Free Smoke. The Fort Myers one, even though they're doing good in league play, can't get their money together right, and they're not coming again. So
Lord, man,
yeah, unbelievable. So you got Chaos versus 941 Cartel. Winner of that gets Free Smoke Tampa. I don't know much about Chaos. I know 941 Cartel is not an A team, so that's probably going to be Free Smoke's probably going to come out of whoever wins those games. And then you got Hennything versus Dog Mafia. Obviously, I know who Hennything is. Dog Mafia just put something in the comments, so I guess
So y'all don't come out there like no poodles, because we will roast your behind. Thank you sitting up here coming out here. Thank you. You be that fizzle. All right.
Then you've got Smoking Aces versus Dread Gods, and I found out who Dread Gods are because the guy called me today asking about brackets. He is that's actually High Stakes from last year.
Okay.
So if you remember High Stakes, they were pretty good. So that's a pretty good matchup. If Smoking Aces has their quarterback, if he's still playing with them, the shifty guy, I don't know his name, but that's a solid game to watch right there. It's an early game though. And then you have down at the bottom, you've got Blazers going to take the winner of Primetime and Shockwave 2.0. So I'm going to say my Primetime Port Charlotte boys are going to come out with the win on that and go against the Blazers.
Yeah, because Shockwave 2.0, they confused.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And then I expect the Blazers to beat Primetime, but listen, Primetime, they got some athletes, man. If they play smart, they could upset them. So we'll see what happens.
No, I'm right. I love Primetime, but I'm riding with my little brother. Them, the twins. Them, they got everything clicking on all.
Yeah, listen, they made it to the final last game.
We got a little sneaker up in here.
Antoine Randall's playing with Primetime.
I might have to take that back. Oh, okay.
That makes that a good game. That's good. Anquan played, if anybody knows who he is, he played. What was the name of their team, Gary, from last season?
Haha. They was Haha.
Haha, they had a Joker team. We stole their colors this year.
Definitely.
All right. And now here's what the interesting thing is for this big controversy we just had. And just so everybody knows, this is how the rankings worked out. I had nothing to do with how this matchup worked out. So I'm very
Who is the Road Runners?
I don't know who they are. I have no idea. But if the 239 does their job and Monster does their job, we're going to have a rematch of this Sunday controversy between Monster and 239 with state refs. Nobody's daddy's going to be reffing that game. That I can promise you.
Then what you going to cry about?
Freddie will find something.
So we'll see what obviously I feel like 239 is going to be the one to come out.
The Road Runners, they might meet and they be sliding on y'all. Y'all better get right.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? They could be good. But the interesting thing about this too is the
hey, yes, sir.
Yeah, they're coming at you about your hair again.
Don't worry.
The last thing I'm going to say about OCALA, what's going to be kind of the X factor is the weather, right? I mean, you've got a real wet, rainy Saturday, so it could change things. A good team could get caught real easy in that kind of weather. So
all right, so this is what I'm telling you. This is your kit that you need to bring. Bring extra footballs. Bring some oil to put on your flag. No, don't do that. Y'all put some oil on your flag. Y'all gonna get messed up. Bring 30 pairs of socks.
Towels.
Yes, bring towels. Bring your tent because you cannot sit up under our tent. Matt is strictly getting you from up under our tent. No, bring your own tent. Bring your own chairs. And do me a huge favor. Just bring some watermelon and then let your boy know you got some because I'm going to come over there and get me a slice. You got anything, Gary?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to bring their own water because I know that's been getting taken from us.
Bring your own water. But, if y'all over there and you're down to thirst, I got you. I'm always look out for you.
Also, visit the apparel tent. We'll have it up as long as it's not too rainy on Saturday. We'll definitely have it up on Sunday. And come get an interview with Big Dreams with Gary and Drew. Behind the scenes, we would like to talk to people and get that content pushed up on the site.
Definitely like to know what y'all want to see. All right, Big Dreams, flag on the play. We out.